Yo.
Drop your mic a bit now.
No worries. Yo. Welcome to another episode of the joeZONE podcast. And today I have chilling with me, I think is, in my opinion, one of South Africa's best comedians. Huh? It's a big statement, huh? Ladies and gentlemen, Cole Weber.
Thank you very much.
And also I have my co-host with me tonight, Liam Bento. How's it going, Liam?
I'm lekker, bro.
Bugs.
Yeah, what's up, dog?
So, Cole, we're gonna have quite a liquor conversation tonight. But before we get to that, I always wanted to know how you got started. Like the first time I saw you perform was at Chili Bar.
Sure.
that's going back. Like, but what was your first gig? How did you get into it? I mean, were you always into it, or were you cracking jokes as a kid, or how did it happen? Like,
Can I just say this first? I waited long enough to be on the show. So yeah, I know. I've always been into comedy, not like stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
But always been the funny guy.
Yeah.
Always wanted to try it. My first gig was at Joker's Comedy Club.
Jokers?
Yeah, Belgravia.
Belgravia. I heard about that place in Athlone and stuff like that, but I haven't been there.
Liam will remember it.
Yeah. But that's where we all made our bones there.
Where the spotlight
made our debut.
Spotlight was a ceiling fan light.
So your first time, were you quite your
cellophane.
first time? Or how did it
No,
go?
I was crap the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told internet jokes.
You went up
I didn't
in
know. I didn't know how it worked. So I just, thought you just need to be funny. And I remember Martin Davis told me, listen, if you are bad, if you're crap, what's going to happen? Nothing. If you're good, what's going to happen? Nothing. So just go there and get used to the stage. But the first time on stage was amazing.
Amazing.
I died, but it was amazing.
The feeling was amazing.
Feeling was amazing.
And that was what got you
Yeah, got me hooked.
the bug.
Your first gig, like, did you invite your mates to the gig type of thing?
No, I think...
Was it like you just tried it out because for the sake of wanting to try it out
Yeah.
to see if you like really wanted to take it further than that?
Yeah, I thought, let me just do it. I wasn't confident enough to tell all my friends, come check it out, whatever. I just let me just get the first one. I didn't know half the people in the crowd, so...
You see, now that's also a big difference because what like the newcomers, what they do a lot of the time is when they do their first gig, they invite everyone they know. So the house is packed out with your people. So it gives you a false sense of how good you actually are. Because if people are coming to support you, they're coming to support you specifically. So if there's 5 comics on that lineup, they're there to see you. Fuck the other 4 people, right? Yeah. So it gives, now you go and you absolutely slaughter on your first time and you think, nah, this is it. I'm God's gift to comedy. I'm gonna do this thing. And we've seen it so many times. And people pack out, they pack out their first gigs, and then like your mates are like most likely to come and support you the first 2-3 times. After that, they're not coming anymore because why must I hear the same jokes that you told the last time? And then that's where it shows if you've got the metal for this game.
So after you like die the first time, some people die and some people leave it. You died the first time. What got you back onto stage? What made you come back? Was the feeling or?
Yeah, I mean, just that feeling of just being on stage, the spotlight, the mic. I've always wanted to do it. The thing is, like, when you invite all your people, right? So this is the difference between a stand-up comedian and a funny person. You know what makes your friends laugh. You know what they're going to laugh for. To a room full of strangers, you don't know any one of them. So that is the true test. What got me back was just, I was hooked the first time. Just that feeling of being able to get up and tell people what I think is funny. And then they find it funny. That's what brought me back.
And after how long do you think you started to become funny? Was the joke started? The people now starting to like, yo, this is...
it takes a while. Like people tell me, teach me to do comedy. You can't teach someone to do comedy.
You must teach yourself.
Either you got it or you cuck. That's just how it is. But I think the technicality of comedy takes a while to learn. Like mic technique, timing, rhythm, all of that kind of things. So that makes your set better. So once you understand, that takes a while. So that first year, you're doing 5 minutes. You're an open micer. You do a lot of what Liam can say. You haven't been in comedy long enough, but I mean, Liam will tell you, a lot of comics, a lot of open mics make the mistake of changing the set every time they get on stage. You get a 5 minutes, you polish it till you can do it in your sleep. That's what I did the first year. And then the first year, that's all you do.
That's all you're doing, bruh.
That's all you do.
That is all you're doing. If you can't kill, if you can't polish, take that 5 minutes and absolutely polish it to perfection, where you can, like Carl say, like you can say it in your sleep, you can say it back to front. You know exactly where your punches are, everything. If you can't do that, don't move on to your next 5.
Yeah. Carl, after one of my second set I ever did, you told me you're not quiet, but you got something there. So I take that as what you just said. You either got it or you don't got it.
I remember asking you, can you weld? Because maybe you must make burglar bars. I don't know.
But where to from, like, how do you get better? Like, for those out there that will
just gig.
Do you write or do you do that?
So yeah, I used to write. I don't.
As an open micer, do you write?
As an open micer, you write all the time. Even if you're not feeling funny, you just write.
Even though you're still repeating the same set or going back, you're still writing. And
so with repeating the same set, it's not. You don't memorize it and just repeat word for word. So you find the nuances in it. You find out what works, what doesn't work. And then that is called polishing your set.
Polishing your set.
You polish it. So you take out... So Stuart Taylor told me once the efficiency of words. Like if something's... If it's taking too long to get the punchline.
Yeah.
That long setup is not worth the punchline. Then take those words out.
Yeah.
So you need to cut, even if it's and the... Take it out, it was not working.
Yeah.
So that is called polishing.
One of the sets of yours that I can name in particular, that I almost can see how you polished it. It's like, I think I heard it maybe 2010 as the colored horror movies.
Yeah.
I think that was maybe one of the first times I heard it, 2010, 2011. And then I think I heard it you said it in 2019 or 2018 again. I'm not sure. You said it same time, like, it was probably 7 or 8 years after each other.
Yeah.
And it was like, this is like chalk and cheese. Like the first time you see the color to the 8th year of saying it.
I'm finding new punchlines, I'm finding new throwaways, new callbacks all the time. So you're reinventing that joke all the time.
Yeah.
And that's comedy.
Yeah. That's why it's also a big thing for like new starters that are coming in for the first time. Don't discard anything, bro. You hoard your material like crazy. And like it's a very big thing that Carl actually brought up there with Stuart Taylor talking to him about, because he told me the same thing as well, economy of words. So I think in a way that's where myself, Carl, because what was it, 2010 when we started out? 2010, like you, because we all came from the Joker stable. So Carl was first. Carl got me on. Because Gino and Rastam had been drugging me the whole time. Come try it out. And then Carl got me on the Jokers. Then, not long after that, KG joined us. And then Dalen came later. I got Dalen on because I was friends with Dalen's sister. And then it was that was like the Jokers stable at the time. So we were very fortunate in the fact that we had people like Stuart, like Kurt, like Mark Lottering, that actually took an interest in us and our sets. And one of the big things that what we did when we started out is like Dave Chappelle talks about, you take that comedian's class, you sit there and you watch them, and the guys that are starting out don't really do that anymore. They don't come to watch comedy just to be there and see what is happening and see how the crowd reacts to certain things, and basically just take the class. They don't do it anymore. They just want to come and perform it. Like, I'm the shit and spot. It's not going to work.
Carl, you were a phenomenal host. Like that. So I said earlier in this, you must be one of the top in the country of hosting. Like there's different. Like I've seen you host, and it's like in jiu-jitsu they call it flow rolling. Like it's like you in this flow state. It's just like you just riffing and they're talking to the crowd, and it's like there's just something else. when did you start like picking up on the hosting?
So yeah, hosting was one of my biggest fears because
Is it?
hosting it's a thankless job. So you can kill 5 times a night, or you can die 5 times a night. Because after you die, you still have to go back. There.
Yeah.
So that's not the thing that's not like about hosting. And also, it's once you kill as a host, it's time for you to get off. So you set it up for the next guy, and you bring him onto a great crowd. So it's very thankless. So a couple of people told me, "Oh, you're such a good host. You should try doing stand-up comedy." Okay.
Thanks.
Yo,
I'll take you up on that.
But I've seen you just make the crowd like hit like a level, like a peak. Like it's not easy to do that.
No, it's not easy,
To
but-
take them up like at a notch and then take them up another notch and then okay, right though, your turn.
I mean, there's amazing comedians, great headliners that are not hosts.
Yeah.
They can't host. Hosts is just something that comes with experience and time. And I try and do a lot of improv in my hosting set. So I'll speak to the crowd.
Yeah.
And see, and for me, that's like the true test of, let's see how funny I really am. If I can just,
And how you interweave your set with that with what you already you just picking up and it's like it's there's really a art to it and that's why I say that it's almost like a flow. It's like a black belt. It's something else. Not all hosts have it, man. And maybe there's a little bit of ego also in some hosts, because you have to almost like put your ego to take a backseat once you hit that peak. You know what I mean? Then you have to like get off stage instead of like basking in it like a bit.
I know the biggest mistake that a lot of hosts do after the headliner, that's the show. You get off stage. But because it's so lekker, then your ego tells you, tell 7 more jokes. Why don't you have 7 more jokes? And then you just go like, so, it's crazy, man. And then you get, don't do that.
You're spoiling the show. That is gonna
And you'll know someone is dying when they say, it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Give yourselves a round of applause. No, you're dying.
Yeah. But yeah, it's true. It's very true. And also, whatever, like, you get hosts, like you the type of host that can actually feed off the energy of the crowd. What they give back to you, you can actually turn it back into material without actually using any material. And I've always admired that, because it's something that I can't do. So I will sit and I will watch in amazement, because it's like watching a magic trick, man.
It's like thinking on the spot or so, like it's like and making up a set like as you go along in the spot on the spot.
So because you get like you say, these people that host, but they host strictly according to the material. I'm not trying to like name call anyone, but if you look at someone like Martin Davis compared to you, Martin Davis will use material to host from beginning to end, and it will just be his tried and tested material that he'll use. There'll be no improv. He's extremely good at making it seem as if it's improvised, but it's set material. Whereas someone like Carl, Dalen, Stewart, Mojack in Joburg, Richelieu as well, very good at interacting with the audience and taking what they give you and turning it into something funny. It was never part of the material, never part of the set, but you can take that and you can turn it into part of your set, and it will seem as if it's been there the whole time. And that's brilliant. Like there's not many people that can do it, and it's an underappreciated talent.
And you know what? So the thing is, you need to be fearless. You need to not be scared of dying. You need to look it in the face and say, let's die, let's go. Right? So if something doesn't work as a host, you don't blame the crowd. It's you. It's you. You weren't funny. And say it. Shit, that didn't work. Say it. They appreciate your honesty. Or I'll say, let's do improv now. Give me, what can I talk about? And when I run out of jokes, I tell them, this is a cuck game. Let's go back to my set. So I'm blatantly honest with the crowd.
Yeah.
You're breaking that fourth wall. That is you. Not everybody can do that, man. It's not easy to break that fourth wall. It's like to say to change to Deadpool it. Is that what it is? Like breaking that fourth wall, like saying, looking at the.
There's a freedom that comes with being fearless, because you're not scared anymore. It's like that Bernie Mac.
But yeah, I ain't scared of you, motherfucker.
Once you reach that point, then you tell the crowd, Chigga, whether you catch us or not, I don't give a fuck. Come with me or don't come with me. Let's go. I tell him, Chigga, I'm not here. I don't laugh at my own jokes. You laugh. You paid. I tell the jokes. You laugh. If you don't laugh, you're wasting your own money. Let's go.
Yeah.
Chigga, you must be that fearless. Inside, I'm cucking myself, but I'm like, Chigga, because if the crowd trusts you, if you are scared, they are scared for you. If you are confident, they check, nah, this brand knows what he's doing. They go with you.
But I know also, like, in the beginning, we wanted to play everywhere, but there was rooms that we played, and it was like, I'm not playing there again.
Your nemesis.
It's like, I don't care how fearless I am, fuck this place.
You get those rooms. It's not gonna work.
Ragazzi out by.
Yo, the comics go to the graveyard.
But some of your material is also like you push the envelope with some of your material. It's almost like you're challenging the audience. Like it's almost like you diss them a bitchy, and then you pull it back, and then you do this joke, and the joke is actually liquor. Like
so you can do that, right? Once you win the crowd over.
So you first have to win the crowd over before you challenge them.
You need to endear yourself to them, right? So I've been described as a charming douchebag.
That's a quiet way of
charming douche. So I will tell you, go fuck yourself. You're like, okay, yes. But you need to win them over first. And that's showing your own vulnerability and saying, listen, I also fuck up. I'm just human. That's why I talk about observational comedy. I do everyday comedy. When I tell you my life, you see the similarity in our lives, and then you can relate to me.
That's something that I've said to you guys a lot of time. The common thread: everybody experiences this same matrix.
Yeah.
We are all living in the same matrix. We're just experiencing it through different lenses. Now, if you bring your perspective of, like, say you see taxis driving past every day and you see it a certain way, but you also see those same taxis driving past and you see it in a different way, but now Carl brings it to you in a way that you haven't been looking at it, but he brings it in instead of it just being the normal mundane thing, he's not just saying funny things, he's saying things funny as well. It's very important that you need to be able to distinguish between the two. And it also comes with the hosting. Like Carl can say funny things and he can say things funny as well. Whereas me, I have to, because I'm not as comfortable with hosting, I have to trust in my writing. So I have to trust that what I've written, what I'm saying is essentially funny. So it requires a lot of trust in your material as well, and you must say it with confidence also, man. That's it. You can't go out this gate. You must say it confidently.
You come. No, come out and say, you know what happened the other day? Yeah, let me tell you, fuck it. So once you saw like people like, hey, there's a liquor thing coming, and people always try and figure. It's just human nature to try and figure your punchline out. So they're listening to you. And they want, it's human nature to try and figure it out. So that's where the element of surprise comes in. The punchline is always out of left field. You must take them on this journey, and they constantly trying to figure out, okay, maybe he says this, maybe. And then you go completely on the other side. And that's comedy. That's the beauty of comedy.
Yeah, man. Like you've been doing a lot of things besides comedy as well. You've been doing some acting. How did you get into acting?
So I signed up with a casting agent, and I thought, let me just make some extra bucks or whatever, do some ads. And there was liquor, and then I got into the series. So
I've seen you in the series.
Yeah, so being from Bloemfontein, I speak Afrikaans very well.
Yeah,
and then I would cast a lot of Afrikaans roles, and I took on drama roles, like villainous roles, very serious roles, because I know I can do comedy. So this was a new challenge for me. Let me see if I can play the villain. Let me see if I can
be the new Parker Haynes.
Something like that. Yeah. And it's been awesome.
Yeah. Are you still doing the series now? Or
yeah. So COVID took the industry took a knock.
Yeah.
But it's coming back now.
Okay.
So I'm doing more ads. I did a Walls commercial
The dinges.
Yeah.
I see dinges is on TikTok now.
Yeah.
Your voice is on TikTok. Dinges.
No, but
Somebody took your voice and
took
put it
my
on
ad,
TikTok.
yeah. And then they like getting.
Dinges. They getting 1 million views.
And then they
overnight.
asked me to like my own thing. I said, this is my thing, bro.
That's your voice over like dinges. I'm like, wait, this is Carl speaking.
Yeah. So yes, I enjoy that. Acting is lekker, man.
Do you find though, like with casting especially, that is the sort of like stereotypical roles that you get pushed towards? Do you feel maybe you can expand a little bit more on your horizons? Maybe try or look to take on more challenging roles.
Yeah. So I get a lot of request castings. So they look at your profile. They obviously look at your race, the way you look, and strangely enough, I get cast for a lot of Muslim roles. So I was a Junaid, I get that whole Cape Malay vibe, and some people actually think I'm Muslim, which I'm not, obviously. But yeah, the stereotypical thing, people will say, okay, you cast as this gangster thing, and then you come with your like this accent that I'm talking with, and I say, can you sound a little more
Flat.
colored?
Yeah.
Can you just, instead of yay, can you say tay, And it's just, it gets a bit much.
Well, soon enough, the opportunity will arise. So, like, are there any hard lines that you will draw as to roles that you think you wouldn't want to explore, or you like open, like, say they come to you offering you a role in a movie. It's not a starring role, it's off to the side, but it's something that you haven't, like, maybe you are a gay salon owner or something like that, where you would need to really practice your acting chops or really like stretch.
I think the only role I would turn down is a Portuguese role, because the powder like gets everywhere. You see that? Pah! You didn't know where it was coming. But no, I mean, I think I'll turn down roles like that require accents. Not because I don't want to do it, because I can't. I suck at accents, right? But I mean, it's 2023, so I mean, it's up to you as a person whether you want to take on. But I think stepping out of your comfort zone is a big challenge, and I'm willing to do that.
That's an interesting question that you put to call the.
So yeah, it's a personal thing.
It's a personal thing. It made me think of something that was brought up on one of Uncle Stan's podcast. Like, they say they seen a youngster in all the videos, and he's always with a lot of gang leaders. Have you seen that clip? And they say, like, but this is not a good thing. Like, why are you letting youngster listen to your children? Like, and he's chilling with gang leaders. I'm just saying, you like, it's asking him, are you going to draw the line when it comes to acting and I don't know, in rapping? It's just an interesting take. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Some people also take what they see on TV too serious. Like, if you look at it,
but if you're chilling with a gangster, a gang leader, that is sort of quite
So like for example, look at the bruh from what's that movie? Numeskoli. What's it? Gums. People, that man's portrayal of that character was so good that people decided to take it to the real streets and say, that's JDO, and like challenging him for a role that he played. So it's a scary world that we live in, where people will take something like that too seriously and actually affect your real life. And that's obviously places that you don't want to get yourself in. So maybe like pull yourself away from it, but also at the same time, by doing that, you're denying yourself an opportunity to expand.
True. I mean, I play the role of a gang boss in Skimmer Dance on Showmax. And I got so much flack for that. So
you got flack?
Yeah, bro. Even I did a role. I played a role in Arensvlei, where I put this Daniel get out of the house. People were upset with me. Carl, we didn't know you that kind of person. What kind of role model? You are dealing drugs here. You are a gang boss. When did you even join a gang? Last we saw you were at Cape Town Comedy Club. You were at Cape Town Comedy Club, and you were inviting us to your next one-man show. Now you're part of a gang.
Since you got all of these tattoos, Carl.
When last were you in church? And then the people, like, there's a sector of people, our people, a small amount of people that cannot differentiate
between the person and the actor.
Yeah, it's that people whose parents grew up on Bold and the Beautiful and Days of Our Lives and take life too seriously when loving was your whole life.
My grandmother used to say, as ek vir Brooke Logan kan sien, as ek vir haar moet sien. You know, so it's just that.
See, and it's experiences like that also informs your material at the end of the day, because you've got that like the Brooke, the Brooke Barchies type of thing in your set.
Yeah.
So it's all life experiences that is coming back that actually feeds it, and because you've actually lived it, it makes your content more authentic, and people believe you. That's what that's also a big thing at the end of the day, is that a lot of what we are saying is dialed up to 11. Sure, okay, we experienced it maybe at like level 2, level 3, but we turn it up to 11 so that we can actually get that comedic effect out of it. And it needs to be believable, because if the audience don't believe you, what's the point? They're just not going to believe you. They're not going to buy into what you are actually saying.
Now, it will sound rehearsed. So you never want to just be running lines. You never want to sound like you're just repeating, what you did last week. So every time, even if you're doing the same set, it must sound like you need to convince them. So if you're not invested in your set, they're not either.
It needs to be a little bit of a performance, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I overperform. Like, I don't know. It is like a line. Like, what do you think about? Is it, what do they call that? When I don't know. When the comic is a certain way, it's like, oh no, that's almost like below them. Like, I don't know. It's like a certain word they use. I don't know. But is overperforming like sort of not a good thing as a comedian? Like,
yeah, I don't think so. A lot of when I started comedy,
if you got a lot of physical comedy, is that
No.
maybe cheesy or something like that?
No, it's not, because there's different styles of stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
So you get the very deadpan.
Deadpan, yeah.
Deadpan. What's the English guy? The one-liner deadpan guy.
Oh,
In the suit. What's his-
Oh, Jimmy Carr.
Jimmy Carr.
So he's a one-liner. Then you get someone like Lee Evans, who's
Yeah.
very physical.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously Jim Carrey. So if you're going to do slapstick comedy, you need to nail it. Otherwise, it's just cheesy. But watch Lee Evans. That man nails it.
You name quite a few British comedians.
I like British comedy.
Same.
You prefer the British over the American.
Yeah,
I know you a big fan of the British events.
It's witty. It's witty. I like it.
It's more meat in it, like
Ricky Gervais.
I don't know. I always like mention Bill Burr, and I compare you to. It's just something that you did once. Like I like the way your interaction is. It was like when he told the audience to F off, like you know what I mean. But the audience was still loving him, like in that moment. Like you say, what did you call yourself?
You in jail?
Asshole.
Yeah, no, I'm not an asshole. Thank you very much. I'm a word. I'm a charming douchebag.
Oh, charming douchebag. There we
So,
go.
like we spoke about it on one of our Content Cowboys podcasts when we spoke about selective outrage, the Chris Rock's new special, and like I said, for me, it's not. I think the material that he was bringing across is brilliant, but I'm not a fan of that style of delivery.
The overperforming.
We
spoke about that,
only
yeah.
the overperforming.
I liked it. You see, now I again liked
you
it.
see, now it's subjective.
Yeah.
It's very subjective. So I don't like the repetitive nature of it.
Yeah.
It's like women love shopping. Da, 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 da. Women love shopping. Da, 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 da. Women love shopping.
Yeah.
I prefer something more along the lines of Chappelle. So I kicked her in the pussy. And then he went on for an entire hour. And all of a sudden he just called that back out of nowhere. So I will rather go for a callback than for repetition.
Yeah.
But you must understand, for the Chris Rock special, the name of the special is Selective Outrage.
Yeah.
So his delivery of the performance must be outrage.
So why is it the same delivery as Bigger and Blacker? Why is it the same
Because that's
delivery
his
as
style,
Never Scared? You can't say it's because the title is Selective Outrage. He does it all with every single
That's
show.
his style.
Now it appeals to someone like you. You find it appealing. You find it's high energy. It's funny because he's using it as he's using that repetition as a callback. But he's with the punches in between, he's hitting you hard. So that is what I appreciate about it. But I don't like the repetition of it. Bah, 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 bah. It's the same thing. Whereas if you can catch someone by surprise, like Carl did now with the Portuguese roll, the other thing, it was unexpected. You didn't see it coming from anywhere, right? But he hit you with it. Now we'll go on talking. We'll have our conversation. And all of a sudden, like as you're ending the show, Carl just brings up, calls back Portuguese roll. Bah, bah.
So that's the beauty
Now
of a call.
that is, for me, that is more appealing because it comes out of nowhere.
I see what you're saying, but I feel that Chris Rock his stuff, his work over the years is phenomenal. And he does do the repetitive shouting and all that type of stuff. But if it's part of the subject matter, then how else must you deliver it like? And it's like even when he spoke about the I can't say the word. You get a black person and a true. N-word. You know what I mean? How else did he supposed to deliver that? You get this and that. How else is he supposed to? You must deliver it that way,
and that is why
it must be like
it's a type of material that very few comics can actually do. So he's the biggest proponent of it. There are probably like thousands of comedians in America that you don't know of that do the same because there are that many of them. There are that many of them in America. The market is saturated with stand-up comedians.
But don't you think it's how he positioned himself as well? Since early 90s with Spike Lee.
Yeah, so you see that is the natural progression of American comedians. So that's not what we follow. Like some of us go into acting, some of us go into comedy. But a lot of people don't realize someone like Kevin Hart. Oh, just out of the blue. Kevin Hart, where does he come from? He's been around for 19 years before they discovered him. Yeah. So now he's acting in movies. But he's been at it for 20 years already.
It's 19 years of hard graft to become an overnight success.
There's no such thing as overnight success. That bra's been grafting at the back that we just don't know of.
Yeah, there's you hear a lot of people come up that way. They've been working hard for long, and then all of a sudden they pop off. Hopefully that comes one day of we hope that comes one day of podcasting. Like we've been grinding for 10 years or something. Now finally podcasting is a monetary thing, but podcasting you don't make money from it here in South Africa. Whereas in the States you make big money from it. Like advertising is entrenched in it. All the companies are investing in it. The technology is based in it. It's so easy to consume. It's free. There's so many options. You can buy it. You can get it free. You can get the version free, and you can buy a version. You can pay extra. You can donate. There's so many ways. I
think there's only 2 podcasts that I listen to that don't have ads in it.
Is
they don't advertise for anything for sponsorship.
But then
Joe Rogan is one.
But then he's getting a payout from Spotify.
Yeah.
So the other one is
Joe Rogan is one, and the other one is that Peter Crouch podcast. I listen to that Peter Crouch.
But he's getting money for sure.
He is, but
just
that's
a different way.
But that's BBC backed.
Yeah.
You see,
that's a BBC backed podcast.
See, so BBC or somebody.
Every other one that I watch, you have to hear a Manscaped ad that just pops up where they're promoting Manscaped, or it's Love Honey, or it's some sort of supplement or something.
Even with sorry to break you, even with the YouTube reaction videos. So we're gonna get into this now, but first let me tell you about this.
But I mean, at the end of the day, it's sponsoring your content. It's enabling you to actually continue to get your content out there. So you need to, in a way, you need to sell out.
Yeah.
You need to sell out to become a sellout. Yeah.
There's only a few. There's not so much. The market is not saturated in South Africa. Even in Cape Town, there's a few that you can mention that is really making money from it. But otherwise, other people, I don't know. And it's the type of content that South Africans want to consume.
Yeah.
They don't want to consume long form. They want to consume TikTok,
bite-sized,
short, bite-sized. They don't have a lot of data.
That's the thing. That's the reason why it's not a big thing yet because the majority of South Africans can't afford data. And I mean, the price of Wi-Fi, not everybody has it. So now, if you make a Facebook video or whatever, you need to keep it under 2 minutes. Because if someone's watching, their data's running like, this brother's talking too long. They switch off. So it needs to be small, like TikToks, quick.
You've delved a little bit in the small businesses and stuff like that and stuff like that.
Did some small business promotions, videos, like in a comedic way. Also delved into TikTok a bit. TikTok is a algorithm I can't figure out.
Is it?
Yeah. You know what? It's not smart comedy.
No, that's the problem right there. You shouldn't actually say it's a problem, but that is exactly what it is. It requires a level of like non-intelligence.
But now don't Uncle Cliffy work?
Not there.
Did you try?
Yeah, I tried one or two things. The thing is, it's all about trends, right? So if there's a dance trend, you need to do it. If there's a challenge trend, you need to do it. And then also just like be a Neanderthal. Like, it's just like dumb. It's dumb comedy, you know? You can't come and sit, the ones that you set up, okay, come from this angle, it never works. You do something stupid and it blows up.
It's a weird thing. Like.
Quite honestly, I've given it quite a bit of thought over the years, and I honestly thought that you would go more towards this direction because of your experience that you've had, not only with Good Hope on radio, but when you were doing that, what was that Cape Flats radio thing that we used to do on a Sunday?
Yeah, it was Vibe. Was it Vibe? Yes, we used to do it on a Sunday.
We used to do it on a
I would love to
Sunday.
go in this direction.
Always played that with Through the Wire.
Yeah.
Is that more like skits or something like that?
No.
No, it was a radio show.
It was
like a radio
online
show.
Online radio. So I always thought about getting into, podcasting and stuff. But then also it was like, start a YouTube channel. Then COVID came. Then lockdown came. And then this, and then that, and then that. And now finally I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to ask Joe to invite me. Then I'm going to steal with an eye. Then I'm going to go home and set up our second bathroom because there's no toilet in there. Then I'm going to set
The only thing, and get people
do it. The echo, man.
Yeah, no, do it. I encourage it. I think there must be. Here's the thing: is the more podcasting there is, the better it is for everybody. A rising tide raises all ships, and there must be more. There must be more. So because I don't listen to one podcast. I listen to like 3 or 4 different podcasts. I don't want to hear one person's point of view. I want to hear different people's point of view. So I want to hear Ryan's take. I want to hear Priscilla's take. And the thing is, there's no. The men are frontiering again, the podcasting thing. Sorry to be men and women and stuff like that, but we do want more women podcasts out there. There should be more podcasts. I've even tried. My daughter's even come on here, and she's like 7 years old, and I've tried to encourage that because like we want more voices, and I mean your voice, anybody's voice will be awesome. Like make your own podcast, do it. It's bemang.
And then it's also about consistency.
Yeah, that's
So you need to make
what we
sure
don't have.
you're dedicated to it.
Yeah.
And you're gonna bring it. Now I wanna watch series this winter. I wanna chill with my wife. Like, must I go do something or must I chill here? Let me rather chill. These times get that out of me. And it's due to COVID and due to lockdown. When there wasn't any stages for us. And then you got used to, because I mean, how many times in the last 10 years did we skip out on a week of comedy?
Yeah.
We never did that. Every week for the last 12, 13 years, I've been gigging 2-3 times a week.
And I mean, if you look at when the year that we started, 2010, when we started, we were at gigs every single night of the week except Saturday, because there was no comedy on a Saturday. Because it was before Cape Town Comedy Club had opened. It was still just your Master Comedy Club on a Thursday. On a Thursday once a week, and you had to fight to get onto that stage. But everywhere else, what was it, like Monday we were at Zula Bar, Tuesday we were at Purple Turtle, Wednesday we were at Sergeant Pepper's
And
Ragazzi. Thursday we were at the River Club or in Ob's, when it was still at Ob's Cafe. It was Ob's Cafe in the
So by that time you're in your 20s, you didn't have a wife and kids. You can do that shit.
Every night. And I mean, I used to do it. I go straight from work to a gig. and I'll get home at 12, after 12, every night. So now I had a day job. I try to do it again. I can't. I'm tired. I'm old. I want to be rubbed out with DBT when I get home.
I said,
It's a young man's sport. You say comedy's a young man's sport.
Strandfontein must smell like wintergreen.
wintergreen, bokvet, is alles.
Now it's a young man's game. So that's why you need to kind of establish yourself.
Yeah.
But I mean, we were chatting also beforehand with regards to the gigs that are happening at the moment, and it's in Cape Town at the moment. It's a there's a playing circuit, but it's not a paying circuit.
Yeah.
So for someone like you that has actually taken comedy up full time as a profession, like you've moved away from your corporate life that you had there, and you've gone all in. So now it doesn't make sense for someone like you to actually go out to a gig where you are paying money to get there, but not getting any money while you're there.
Yeah, that's my thing. I mean, financially, COVID hit hard. So I need to think to myself now, I'm married now, I've got a wife, I've got a household to look after. To drive from Strandfontein to Long Street to do a gig, that's petrol, bro. What are you paying me? You pay me a burger and a beer. Bro.
But now, in a situation where we find our comedy scene, especially here in Cape Town at the moment, who is to blame though? Is it the guy that has organized the gig, or is it the venue owner that is responsible for this?
Yeah.
The audience.
No, the audience is there. I mean, I think just like the landscape that is comedy now has changed so much, right? It's we need to build the circuit again. The circuit is nowhere close to what it was when we started, and it comes down to door deals. I will not run a gig if you offer me a door deal, because that means I need to pay my sound guy, right? If the crowd is not there, that expense is out of my pocket. So I need to pay my host, I need to pay my headliner as well. Most of the time, the sound guy's getting paid more than everyone else. That's weird.
But now, like I'm also now, who is to blame? Say I start running a gig. So I've found a venue, I've discussed now, but the venue owner has told me that he is paying me in exposure. So we've got to make sense of this now. How is it that people that actually have the space for us to use find it okay to want to pay people in exposure? I'm giving you the place to come and play.
No.
That's great, but what if you are offering this to me? There must be something that I'm bringing that is of benefit to you.
Sure.
So why is it that you are able to benefit from this financially, but I'm only getting exposure from it, and my friends that I'm bringing here to come and entertain your audience is only getting exposure from it?
So you're bringing in a crowd that's drinking at the bar, they buying from the restaurant, and all those takings are going to the owner. So now you say, oh, it's 50 Rand, there's 10 people. How are you going to pay your guys? You know, and I mean, even if it's, like you say, if it's exposure, the owner of the restaurant or the venue owner is winning all the way to the bank. So I don't know. I don't know if anyone's to blame. We can all say, nah, we're not doing that, but then there's no gigs.
I thought I can blame the audience for not appreciating talent, you know what I mean? But like you guys say, there's an audience coming, there's people pitching up, but the problem is with the venue owner and the person running the gig is sort of trying to hustle something out of it.
You see, the problem is there are too many people that are wanting to run gigs for the sake of running it, and also they're trying to run gigs because they can't get stage time anywhere else. So if I'm running my own gig, I can give myself all the stage time I want. Which is not benefiting the circuit, because at the end of the day, we're putting out free shows.
Yeah.
Free shows for people. So we're getting these people to come and fine. You just like I've played twice. I've played twice in the last 3 years. Because after Mateo was born, when Mateo was born in 2019, I did Mother City Comedy Festival in 2020, and at the end of my set, I announced I'm retiring, I'm done, and then I did that and I left. I just go back I go back once or twice when someone says, "Kiki, come play," but I make sure that I make sure that they don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
They don't announce me on any poster. They don't tag me in anything. They don't make a big announcement. So all of these newcomers that have never seen me before because I have been away for so long, now all of a sudden they see this new face that they don't know. Oh, he's here at an open mic gig. But I'm going to an open mic gig because I'm fortunate enough that I can afford to do so. So I will go to that open mic gig and I'll go play as one of those open micers that have never seen me before. And then you absolutely destroy them and you say, good luck, go and follow that. And then you just disappear and you make them reevaluate their whole set. And what do they really want to do this? Because a lot of the time, they don't really want to do this. They think it's something fun and I can play once or twice and call myself a comedian.
So what are you saying? Take away the free shows.
Free shows are going to kill the wider stand-up industry. Like COVID killed it.
But Armchair is a free show.
Armchair is a free show, but Armchair is an Armchair is an institution.
Okay.
Armchair has built itself up.
Okay,
Armchair
so it deserves its
Armchair didn't just
Okay.
start last year. Armchair is coming on from Cape Comedy Collective days. Bro.
Okay, cool.
That's
Yeah,
an
even before,
institution.
yeah, okay, understandable. I just wanted to know because, so you're saying take away all free shows except for Armchair because it's an institution. I understand that. But it begs the question, man. There should be any free shows because I know a number of free shows popped up. That's open mic gigs, like. But otherwise, how else is the open mic? But then they must also tell people
By
it's that,
comics,
like,
by
open
comics coming together and collaborating with one another.
Yep.
Stop. We need to stop with the clickiness.
Yeah.
A group here. Oh, this is me and my group. We play here. This is our thing. Then there's another group here. If everyone comes together, like if a venue owner approaches you and says, "Here's a place for you to run a free like a free show. I'm giving you the venue. You can If you say no and he goes to the next person and the next person says yes, it's defeating the purpose.
Exactly.
And that's what's happening all the time.
So you see, the thing is also, and a lot of guys will, I'll probably get some flack for this, but so, like Liam said, so open micers are not getting booked anyway, so they go and open their own venue, their own gig, you know?
Yeah.
So now you jump on, you've been in comedy for 2-3 months, you are now the host and the headliner. So immediately you bring the standard of comedy down.
Yeah.
People who went to their comedy shows and was like, and it's not your fault because you just don't have the experience to be a host or a headliner yet. Some people are like, oh, that was a little cuck. You know? If that was the headliner, jeez. You know, so you bring the whole standard of comedy down.
People think that is
what Cape Town comedy is, but it's not, bruh. We've got such a diverse array of brilliant comics here that are not getting to actually play, or people are not getting to see them because of the clickiness and the unwillingness of comics to collaborate with one another and come together and say that this is our industry, and venue owners that want to have us in the venue need to pay accordingly. That's the only way that we can. I say we. I'm not even in the game anymore. I'm a retiree basically. So I know the bones of it. I know the ins and outs of it. I know the struggles that the guys go through. And it's if we don't come together as a community, a comedy community, it's gonna kill Cape Town comedy.
Yeah, it's easier said than done, man. There's always division in organizations or places like it. And I mean, comedians are like, they want to do what they want to do, like, you know what I mean? It's like trying to herd cats, like, you can't, there's no ways you're gonna get it right. They're gonna want to do it their style. And like, I see the one for open micers to have their own gigs, because I even thought about it. If I have my own gig, I can have more stage time. Yeah. But then you must then have a proper headliner and pay that headliner and so on. Is that not in a way of paying it and get a proper setup? There is gigs like that, you know what I mean, where you can like pay your headliner like what he deserves, and pay a host what he deserves, and still have a gig, like.
Few and far between. Because
the first week you do that, the second or the first month you do that, the second month you do that, the third month then it's like, hey.
But if you're the one that is hosting that gig every single week, your audience is not gonna come. That audience is not gonna come back to see your same jokes every week. Like, sure, they'll maybe see an open mic act, and they'll see a headliner, or maybe you'll throw in like a someone that is a little bit more experienced. So what did they call that? Support. So you throw in a support act as well, because you can afford to pay them, but still you're the one that is hosting every single week. It's not gonna work.
You don't have enough material to host all the time.
So you need to stop thinking about paying yourself.
Yeah.
Basically.
And the problem with free gigs, people are not invested. If they didn't spend money, they're not going to listen.
100%.
That's just the thing with free gigs.
100%.
But the quiet thing about Cape Town comedy is they have like a good support. There is like a lot of people that support. Like people that support the Jive Comedy Festival coming up now. I mean, that is like, and that thing has just grown. You see, the first, when it started out, the Savannah, whatever, that's where I started out on comedy at one of the competitions. But now that competition has just grew and grew and grew. And even the festival itself, I mean, Carl, you played in that festival. Yeah. It's phenomenal stages, isn't it? Like,
you know what? I'm actually one of the Cape Town comics who's done it the most times.
Is it?
Yeah. And that's why people don't like me.
Because you brasa with
I'm not brasa, I'm just good, man. Come on.
Nah, you're just good, and that's what people want, a variety, man. Yeah. And I think that's what your act offers, like a variety of different. You appeal to a big market, and I think that's what Eddie goes for in his selection. That if your comedy can appeal to a big market, and that's what makes a real comedian. You know what I mean? And if you talking just to your brasa and making them laugh, but if you can make other people laugh,
if you can follow direction. So Eddie doesn't like. If he tells you, please don't swear, don't swear, don't swear. You know, the festival is not about. It's not that. You fucking you can't. He said, don't do this, don't do that, and it's simple, man. A lot of guys, comics or cowboys. They rock and roll. They want to do what they want to do.
You never ever saw, never even slip to anything like that.
I slip, but obviously not like constantly all the time swearing.
Oh, you're not like you're not the set that you choose is not like overly aggressive.
I can either swear, I can swear, or I cannot swear. It doesn't matter. It's not going to take away from my set.
But it's better not to, rather, especially
if you're going into corporate comedy as well.
How's the corporate stuff?
Soul wrenching.
I think that's bullshit though. For honestly, I think it's bullshit though. Like
what?
to have
what's bullshit?
To have a corporate to have a corporate event and they say you can't swear. You show me a CEO that has never said the word fuck, and I'll show you a liar. Plain and simple. You like to say that people don't use bad language, or so to speak, or that people curse. It's unrealistic.
People say that people they want to prescribe to the audience. They're not talking to themselves. Like the CEO, when he's talking to his brasses, like he's the worst. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like fail mouth and stuff like that. Yeah, but when he's want to speak to the audience or the people, then he's want to be like,
exactly. But it's you need to look. You need to look at the situation. You are bringing you. It's a comedy show. You are not taking. You haven't brought your audience to church. So you're not coming there to hear a preacher preach to you. It's like if that is what you came there for, and someone is throwing like curse words out or expletives out there, then by all means be offended. But coming to a comedy show and you're offended by a swear word, then you're in the wrong place.
I always wonder, like I talk a lot about like sometimes I talk about like a lot about sex in my.
But your whole audience is sitting there because of sex.
You know what I mean? And I think to myself, if I'm talking about sex, like maybe this is like I could talk about like Viagra and like weird cock like that.
You're speaking to myself
like
you're speaking to the byproduct.
Like you know what I mean? Yeah, because I got 3 kids, so I mean obviously.
And that audience didn't come there. That audience didn't appear by Immaculate Conception.
But the thing is, if you talk like, okay, so if you talk to like, if you come out with your first joke, like a sex joke,
But you haven't gained the audience. You like Carl said, you need to
you
gain
must
their
first
trust.
gain their trust. Yeah.
You need to gain
you
your
can't just
audience's
come
trust.
out.
You don't just
wow.
Exactly.
Talk
Like,
about the.
yes. Melody Chevlane, who owned Joker's Comedy Club, where we started, she used to do that. She'd start off like she'd get.
She
up
was
on
a
stage.
comic.
Yeah. Playing fast. You're playing fast and loose there with the term comic, but she owned the club and she did comedy. But she had this thing where she would get on stage and she hasn't even and the first thing she says is, so I was sucking a dick the other day. Like, you haven't.
How old is she?
No, she's what, Carl's age?
70.
Yeah. So yeah, she's like also a mother of 2 children and stuff like that. But I mean, she hasn't. It's literally the first thing she says as she gets on stage. Welcome on stage, Melody Chevlane, and clapping. And she gets up and she picks up the mic and says, "So I was sucking a dick the other day." Like, now stuff like
But
that.
did you get you off guard? That's just so quiet though.
It does
Surprise
but
you.
Doing that at the corporate event compared to doing that at the club gig, you gotta know your audience, man. This will be like Carl said, you need to gain the audience's trust first.
You can't just come
You
out.
can't just come out wild. You need to gain their trust. So it's a difficult tightrope about knowing your audiences, and that's why Eddie will say stuff like, try and stay away from cursing as much, or stay
because
away
his
from certain
audience that
material.
come there is all like
It's his
people.
Yeah, it's his clients.
it's
at
all
the end
rich
of the
white
day.
people.
Yeah, it's his
No,
clients.
it's actually majority Muslim people.
That's true.
Is it?
Yeah. Block bookings. That people come
They
out.
come
in
out and
droves.
support, bruh. If they like you,
Droves they come out.
if they like you, you're sorted.
Sure, I didn't know.
Weren't you gonna do something along that line, that Nasara bra or something like that?
But then someone told me that's offensive to say that.
Why?
Sarah, I don't know. So it's a non-believer.
But that's a
But you
it's a
got your
Cape Town thing.
Muslim-
Now.
What?
It's a Cape Town Cape Town entertainment thing.
What?
Because if you think about it, like the artists, let's just count them down. Reddy D, Muslim. Youngster, Muslim. Lukman Adams, Muslim. And I'm not saying this in a bad way, but it's they support themselves, and
Yeah.
every Dangasa should actually do the same thing. If you think about it.
There's a reason why Riyad Musa can do he can do 1 week in the Baxter, like with little to no marketing, and it will be sold out every night. It's because that community supports.
Yeah.
But check here, because they're not busy using their money on top and goodness like that, man. Just think about it. That other means is busy saving me. Me bro, I must go to the comedy show.
I used to party with a lot of them back in the day. Don't be fooled.
And also, you don't know, they spend a lot of money on acne. A lot. They are drunk on acne.
That's true.
When you decided to go like full-time comedy, right, what was your end game? What was the goal that you were working towards?
So still the end game. I think I'm a little closer than I was back then. Is to become a household name in South Africa, like Mark Lotting, like Stuart Taylor, Kurt Schoonraad, all the big guys, Riyad Musa, Nick Rabinus. I want to end up. A lot of people. I would love to do international shows as well, but I want to go as a South African comedian. I love South Africa. I want to be one of South Africa's greatest comedians. That's what I want to do. I want to be synonymous with Mark Lotting. One day I will get there. I want people to call Weber, like they must know my name. Call Weber. Yeah, that's funny, bro. Call Weber's coming to town. Let's go. Call Weber. I go to the UK. I go to London. All the expats. Australia, New Zealand. I mean, I look at Alfie. Adrian. I take my hat off to that guy.
Yeah, he's
that bro
awesome.
was against the ropes. I mean, against all odds. You know, sometimes when the industry pushes you out, it's not a bad thing. Because then that lights a fire under you. And you say, oh, I'm not going to make it. fucking watch this. And that bra did it. That bra did it.
He was on the show. He was on the show.
I got a lot of respect for
To
him.
chat to him was like just to see just how his marketing mind works and around comedy is like it was phenomenal to chat to him. But yeah, I mean, you've done it in a Cape Town since you've like got Cape Town sort of locked and you get in the Western Cape. It's just that getting that South Africa. Your name is South Africa. You done some things for, wasn't it? What is it? The roast. What was that on? Comedy Central. Comedy Central. You won a few
I was
times.
going to say Sasko Sam.
Comedy Central. You done a few things for Comedy Central, didn't you?
I went, I think there were like 40 guys competing, and I made it to the semi-finals. Yeah. But I mean, I'm by nature a roaster. I roast people. So, you know, it was lekker. It was cool to do that. I knocked Jason Goliath out.
Who did he lose to?
Robbie.
But Robbie went on to win, no?
No,
Mojak won.
Mojak
won. So it was Mojak and Robbie in the final.
Yeah.
And I
And
know
it was
Richelieu won season 1.
Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart.
Perfect example of that, right? You'd think
You knock Nina out.
You'd think that Comedy Central.
Can we check this out?
You'd think that for like it's Comedy Central Africa, there would be a bigger drive towards stand-up comedy and promoting like South African stand-up comedy, but they don't. It's
But
really,
it's Comedy
such a
Central is
farce.
in their chops now. They like out. They don't exist anymore.
It's
or
really,
something.
it really is such a farce. Like you'd think they would do more for South African comics, but they really don't. Like take for example, like Rishu's told me about it. Like I don't know if I can like share this in confidence with him, but he won the first season of Roast Battle, and one of the prizes was that he was supposed to get a trip to New York to go and perform in New York, and that was one of the promised prizes, and it never materialized.
Just this year, yeah.
Personally, I don't know. So I didn't know how far I could go. Spoke to a couple of other guys, and they said, dude, that's Nina. You could probably go all the way. I'm talking front door, back door, and in her case, sideways doors as well. Now let me tell you guys, some people their way to the top. This one just Nina was the only one to be sad when she found out about Harvey Weinstein. Hashtag why not me too?
Oh, Carl. Hi. Carl Weber, you look like a sexual predator who preys on himself, right? You look like, I can imagine you sitting outside your apartment in a Golf 1 offering yourself sweets. You offer yourself sweets in the hope that you'll suck your own dick.
It was funny up until she did that part. Like if she had just gone to that instead of doing the whole.
She said it's over.
It went.
The golf one was good.
Yeah,
the
it
golf
was
one
good.
in suit
Yeah,
is
that's
good.
good.
You see, this is such a strange thing that like I got the call to come and like take part. I was like, this is not for me because it's such a weird environment. Like you're supposed to say like terrible things to one another and then just be okay with one another at the end of it.
Keep it going. Let's sing it out. I want to check the end.
Are you done? Okay, guys, okay. So you may or may not know this, but Nina had alopecia, right? Alopecia is basically a disease that makes your hair fall out, right?
I didn't really think this one through, eh?
Do you have to be your own hair?
Nah, just doing it fuck.
I'm out.
Why don't you tell us, Carl?
I didn't really think that one through. I remember Fliss was told you out on that one like immediately.
Okay. Slow down. Frodo with a Sasa card. Slow down.
Did you have that in your
No,
back
that's
pocket?
that's good.
That's stuff like that you get from hosting,
Yeah.
right?
She chose the one disease that sounds most like a colored girl's name. Alopecia.
Shame, Carl, you're a below average looking guy. And which is really f***ing hard in this country because our pass rate is 33%, right?
That's good. That's good.
And your cologne is really not helping. What is that? That's the smell of failure. Like, I just really wish you'd pick a struggle because you're poor and ugly.
You see, so now it's,
Yeah. So like at the end of it, then you must just hug.
yeah.
That is such a fucked up
But
thing.
you see, the thing is, like with roasting, you must never, don't roast with your emotions. Like, don't, because now you're like, you're ugly. That's, come on.
Yeah, come now.
It's,
You're fat and
I
ugly.
think that's when I thought, yeah, I got it.
Okay,
So like,
okay.
the other one, like
Okay.
you could see like with certain comics that were doing it, especially like in season 1, you could see they were getting upset, like the emotions were taking over when they were getting roasted. And in an environment like this, you can't do it. You can't show that you're being affected. But like me, I will never. Someone come there and
Wait,
point
she
out
just
the
called
flaws.
him fat and
Yeah.
ugly. We need to check what goes next.
You guys, fuck. So guys, in 2014, Nina had a show, a one-woman show called Hey Nina. I think it missed context though, because I'm trying to place the context. Is it like when you see Nina at the bar and you're actually happy to see her, hey Nina? Or is it when you see her, like most of the time, and you try and dodge her, like, hey Nina? Or is it when you wake up after a heavy night of adulterous debauchery? Hey, Nina.
Shut gap.
Who the did you blow to get this gig in the first place, right?
John Flispers.
Okay.
Brilliant
That
to
makes
take.
a lot of
to-
sense.
to
She's
actually
upset.
take that away.
From
Yeah.
the Goliath Reject Factory store.
But she look upset.
Yeah, she was.
Like, you look like a Goliath that was left outside too long.
Yeah.
So you won.
Yeah, what? That was fun. Though. That was fun. Yeah, people got upset. Yeah.
You talk about Comedy Central. Though, I was
Emotions.
actually, like I don't know if you remember this, but I gave Carl the call
Yeah.
when he got Comedy Central for the first time, because that was the first time that what is it, Comedy Central live at.
Yeah.
So they were still doing it as Comedy Central live at Parkers, and then Carl was on the lineup for the first one that they did in Cape Town.
Was that at in Athlone?
No, that was at.
Parkers, what was it?
Cape Town.
No,
from-
you.
Oh, joking.
No,
Cape
but
Town.
you were at Grand West.
Grand West.
Yeah.
So now, just you alone, or how many people?
No, it was a lineup.
So you whose lineup
Myself,
were you on?
Tracy Claus, and Rob van Vieren.
You won Robin Feeden.
3 of you.
Yeah.
So it was Comedy Central live at Cape Town presents, and then it's so the headliner show, but the headliner is the host as well.
Yeah.
So whose show was
Rob?
it?
Was
Rob's show.
Yeah, so it was Rob's show. It's Comedy Central live at Cape Town presents Rob van Vieren, featuring Carl Weber and Tracy Claus.
Okay.
So I was on Stewart's one. Yeah. So it was myself, Stewart, Melt Sieberagen, and Stieg Dlamini.
Stick. But yeah, the roast battles, it was lekker. It was fun. I enjoyed it. That was lekker for me.
But Comedy Central did your solo shows as well, right?
Yeah, they did. What show did they do?
Bloemboykie?
Call Weber Live.
Okay.
Not Bloemboykie. Just Call Weber Live, and then we did Day Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just those two.
Okay. You ever think of doing a reboot of Bloemboykie?
Yeah, I think. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe one day.
What's the whole story with Bloemboykie? You were born
So,
in Cape
yeah.
Town? Just give a wrap up for
So yeah, I was
some-
born in Cape Town.
Yeah?
Moved out of Cape Town when I was 12 or 13. Moved up to Bloem.
So you already had your accent, like your how you speak. You didn't change accents along the way.
Actually don't think I have an accent. I don't sound Cape Townian. I don't. If you listen to me, I don't sound like anything. right?
But nobody
only when I listen carefully,
but an accent is not heard by the person that has it. So if you have an accent, you don't hear your accent because you hear yourself.
Yeah, but
you
I'm
hear someone
saying,
else's accent.
if he would go to Bloom right at 13 or something like that, then he's for how long were you in Bloemfontein?
Yeah, I moved back when I was early 30s.
You see, that's a long time. So would you not like adapt like the?
Yeah, so I had a Bloemfontein accent
when you came back.
Yeah,
but then you changed sort of.
yeah, I think with comedy helped me get rid of it because I think I just adapted a more neutral accent. Yeah, and then I can turn the Cape Town thing on as well.
And you can turn up the Bloom if you want, and you can turn on the dinges.
Yeah.
The dinges, yeah.
The dinges, turn up each one, eat the volume of each. And do you do comedy there? Have you tried?
Bloom, I've done a few shows in Bloom. It's you know what the thing is, Cape Town, Joburg, Durban, all the big cities, they and this sounds bad, but it's not a bad thing. They're comedy literate, right? So when you are not exposed to comedy, right? So you can go anywhere in Cape Town, you do a comedy show, anywhere in Joburg. Those people are so used to comedy, they pick up, you can be very smart and witty with them. They pick up the little nuances.
Yeah, and they know like the things, I know what you mean.
When you go to Pofadder, they see comedy once every 13 years.
Yeah.
You need to kind of, not even dumb it down, you need to appeal to them. So that is where your job comes in as reading the crowd. As a comedian, you need to read the crowd now. Okay, this is what they used to, this is what they can relate to. You can't go talk about big cities out there. So you need to adjust yourself.
Well, that's where Alfie got the end up. He can talk small
Hanky.
town and he can talk big city because he's lived in both and experienced both and has the knowledge. And I think that's what makes it like the more knowledge you have of the world around you is like the more you can pull out of your bag of tricks like and according that way. I saw the O's doing dope shows.
Outside of Cape Town though, where do you enjoy playing?
Sure. I enjoy any gig out of Cape Town because it's something new. Because now I have to be there for a day or so just to soak up what people like and what they're into. It's like when a American comedian comes in, they always say, "You guys got robots? Oh my God, you got robots?" It's traffic lights, So Bloemfontein, I love performing there because it's like going back home. And not many of my friends are still there, but people know who I am there. So I'm like a little hometown hero, So I enjoy
you're like a celebrity.
I actually enjoy Kimberley as well. Kimberley's lekker.
Is it?
Yeah, I've done it a few times.
Is Kimberley a big city?
No, very small. Very, very small.
But the audience shows up?
Yeah, they come. It's if they're not working, they'll come.
Yeah. Half of Kimberley is a hole in the ground, bro.
And also Kimberley's so small, both at a boxing match, both boxers sit in the same corner. That's how small. That's how small it is.
And the Joburg scene, when's the last time you really played?
Yeah, before COVID, I need to get up to Joburg. I enjoy Joburg, but every part of Joburg is different. So wherever you perform, every gig is a different crowd.
Yeah.
I've done Parkers a few times. I enjoyed it, thoroughly enjoyed it. Dylan Oliphant's gig in Aldos. Yo, fire gig.
Yeah.
Fire. Durban must be the toughest city to perform in.
I see they do that Bioscope Sundays in Johannesburg. It looks interesting. It looks like in like a type of theater.
Bioscope, yeah.
Bioscope. It looks quite interesting, huh?
It is. That's in Maboneng district. It's a fire gig. It's amazing.
Have you been there?
I've played it. It's a real.
Played it.
It's a real. It's one of those younger audiences, man. So it's very much people that grew up on like 90s hip hop type of music and are still kind of into it. So it's
retro.
Very, so you feel at home at the gig. So as soon as you start feeling comfortable and you go and play there, they start and they accept you also because a lot of the time that gig especially, it's people that are regulars that support it. So when you coming there with an outside voice with an accent, Like me, I'm coming. I've grown up in Cape Town my whole
Yeah.
life. I've lived in Cape Town my whole life. This is what I sound like to them. I sound foreign. So now I'm speaking to
Interesting.
them. So I'm speaking to them about things that they relate to, but with a different sounding voice. Now all of a sudden you get that buy-in. So that's the fun part about going to and play like outside of Cape Town. It really opens your eyes up to the, like we always hop on the differences between Cape Town and Joburg, but we don't look at the similarities. So those similarities is what actually it makes your comedy successful outside of where you perform all the time. It's fun, bro.
Do you think you'll be able to do a dope set like overseas, like maybe in London or New York? Because that would be a new challenge, nah? Like maybe doing it here in Cape Town, in Johannesburg is easy, but how would it be to do it in London?
I think we underestimate ourselves. Like a lot of South African comedians that go overseas, they do it really well. And you think you need to change everything, and no, like life is life. If you can translate your South African life to them, they will get it, man. Funny is funny.
And also you have to look at what we grew up with. Like we grew up with stuff like Eddie Murphy Raw.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. So for us, that is what it's supposed to be. It needs to be at that level. And if it's not that level, then it's not good enough. So we never, we saw Eddie Murphy performing that. We never saw Eddie Murphy performing in the club as a 16-year-old. Stuff like that. But it happens.
Yeah.
And that's what we see here, and we think, you're never going to make it. You're never going to make it in this game, type of thing. But we never saw Eddie Murphy having to go through it. Right? So now we are measuring ourselves against his best work and saying, this is the level that you need to be at to be successful.
Yeah.
And you don't realize that there is so many people that is lower than that. So we can actually go because we've polished our sets and we've polished our work to be at that level. We can actually take it outside if the material is relatable.
You know, I think you just saying that and make me smile, make me think. You don't have to apply that just to comedy. As you can apply that to anything.
Yeah.
If you work hard at anything, and you polish it and you continue, you have a good attitude towards your work, and you strive. One day you will be rewarded. It's like, I mean, that's what I hope. The hope is there, but I don't know. I think it's possible, man. That's the formula.
What
of
do
success.
they say? 10,000 hours.
10,000 hours, yeah.
But enjoying the journey also, man. People see the destiny,
that's
man.
true.
Like one thing, like D also like
Enjoy the journey.
Yeah, so you can just the personal benefits from your craft, man. That should be your. Look, I know for any scene to do, I compare the DJ scene and the comedic scene. I compare it a lot. But a lot of people misstep and just think about like a journey, man. It's like you made it. Like if I look back now, no, like my DJ, then there's and I was striving the whole time. Now one day when I'm gonna play in Good Hope and I'm gonna play in this club and then I get there and I was like, but something is missing, man. But the journey up was like so now with this, I know I've said this already on the podcast. But the journey up for me now with podcasting, this is like I mean, I fucking enjoy making the mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Making the mistakes, and it's like, man.
There's a certain benefit in dying. No. Hear me out. There's a certain benefit in dying, in that it gets rid of people that are not truly there for the right reasons.
Yeah.
So like they told us this all the time. Don't let a good gig go to your head, and don't let a bad gig go to your heart. And these people that let those bad gigs go to their heart and they drop out, and it's because they weren't there for the right reasons in the first place.
Yeah.
If you take that bad gig and you take the lessons from it and you come back and you improve, it's part of the journey.
Yep. Exactly. I mean, like, dying is inevitable. You're gonna die multiple times. You're gonna die when you least expect it. But your dying rate will, decrease. You'll die less because now you're learning. You learn how to work a gig. But dying is something that's they call comedy a beautiful beast. Because it will chew you up and spit you out, bro.
Humble you,
If you're supposed to be a welder, Comedy will let you know. Comedy will let you know, bruh, burglar boss.
Yeah, that mask is waiting for you, brother.
Now
Chicken,
gets-
there's some stragglers. I don't know. So there's one or two hours that's still in comedy. I didn't even in my opinion, it's like you at least told me I got the spark. It's like I don't even see a spark in some people. Like it's like yo, but I don't know. Maybe it's maybe it's not for you. You can't force it, huh?
So, you know,
but they
that's-
stay there. Like
Yeah.
so, maybe I don't know.
I always say I am my own biggest critic. And if you can't be completely honest with yourself, if you can't say like, yo, after 10 years, I'm not moving for you need to be honest with yourself and say, chicken, nah. Maybe I'm,
There's somebody that proved you wrong.
maybe I'm
Uncle
a,
A-Time.
well, there you go. Some people are late bloomers.
Uncle A-Time, he just blew up like a year ago. Like
True, true.
It's funny. It's funny that you mentioned that. Like, I remember.
but it's a re. It's a re.
It's re. And I mean, I've been there. Remember, when we were still doing the what did we call that stupid show? 3 jacks.
Oh, 3 jacks and a mic.
3 jacks and a mic. Call myself and KG. We were doing the show 3 jacks and a mic, and that's where Eugene Matthews came to come and perform for the first time. And I remember Carl told him, "You cock in this, you know." So Carl was like that gatekeeper, and I think it stuck with him because I've actually heard from another comic that has also recently started their journey in comedy, saying that Eugene was the one that told him like, "You're never gonna make it in this kind of stupid squad now."
Check, you're talking about
He older than
comedians.
you.
Talking about car comedians, how? This is my question to you. How do you think has TikTok changed, TikTok has changed the landscape of comedy in Cape Town? Because I've seen a TikTok famous guy do stand up, and it was super cocky.
Yeah.
But then you also, but I need to say this, you also get people like Arlene Peterson
Yeah.
that is a comic, but she's quite on TikTok
Yeah,
again also.
yeah.
So how do you think it's hurt is it hurting the scene, or is it helping it, and how?
It's not hurting nor helping it. I think it's the thing is, anybody can be famous on TikTok. It takes a lot of hard work, but it doesn't take a lot of craft and work that is put into stand-up comedy. But hats off to Arlene. She's dominated on both genres. Not all. True. I feel like the stand-up comedians that I rate as stand-up comedians are not too worried about TikTok. I one day I sat with Oscar Peterson and he was telling me he would love to do stand-up comedy. So I said, okay, cool. I got this gig in Ottery. What was it?
I think it was a Reeds or something. wasn't it?
Junior's Placement, Pizza Shack.
Yes,
I
yes,
said,
yes.
Sikait, come do a set here. It's his call. I don't know. I said, Oscar, just come. Trust in you, funny. And he's an actor. He couldn't do it. He said, nah, this is not for me.
I think he's funny through his character though.
Yes.
So when the character comes through,
So that's part of the craft, like, and it's not it's the boom in social media, but also the pandemic, which has caused this the genre of comedy to evolve. Like with there not being any stages available, necessity was there for it to evolve, to be able to get content out. So. In a place where there were certain people that weren't really good at stand-up, the craft of stand-up itself, they couldn't really execute on that. They were able to do maybe like Vines or TikToks or stuff like that, and it was funny and relatable, and it could go viral. So it was all part of the evolution. But I know there are a lot of people that take umbrage with the fact that these TikTok comedians are even considered comedians, but it is comedy.
So there's a big distinction between stand-up comedians and comedians. So you get a comedic actor, right? You get someone on TikTok that's a comedian.
Yeah.
But a stand-up comic is something else. It's what we do.
Yeah. So you get a comedian and you get a comic.
Yeah.
And there's people that they may be quiet at TikTok comedy, but they get on stage and they fall big. Right?
There's people that are not funny, but they look funny. like you.
That one bruh from TikTok with who's a gap in his teeth and the
Check it,
ear and the videos like
I
that.
often think about it. Is it my character that's funny, or is it look funny, or is it what I'm saying it's funny?
It's
You know what I mean?
the resemblance with the Dobby thing, man. The Dobby thing. It's a Dobby thing. Do you want a sock? Must I give you a sock?
Who is Dobby?
Come on.
You
come on.
come in with
Come on.
1990. Are you talking about
But you laugh,
stuff?
so you know what I'm talking about.
Are you talking about pumpkin based stuff?
Uncle Bill.
So what's next for Carl Weber though?
Yeah. So realigned myself, kind of taken a step out of the comedy highway. Not to give up comedy, but to stop doing comedy in a group and to do it on my own. Because eventually, you know what, and this is not a team sport. It's not a team sport. It's a one-man show at the end of the day. You kill alone, you die alone. And that's comedy. So I think what Alfred has done, I've taken a book out of his page and thought, you know what, when you surround yourself with people, you will fly as high as they want you to fly. But when you fly alone, there's no one that can tell you where to stop. So I just think it's my time to kind of step out and just, I feel I've proven myself, I've earned my stripes, and now it's a single journey for me.
Justin Timberlake wouldn't be Justin Timberlake if he didn't leave in sync.
You know?
Can I just say something? So with that being said, what do you think about Trevor Noah's new show? He's got a new show planned for South Africa. Would you join that? Seeing that's maybe an opportunity.
If he asks me,
What sort of show is it?
I've got it lined up there for you
I have to
guys.
think.
There's a lineup. Last one laughing. There's how many contestants is there?
There's all the information there.
So what is this like? Just like a
Yeah, I think.
ensemble show? Or?
Yeah, I think they're gonna choose. I don't know who they're gonna all choose, but it's probably
so it's like a comedy idols type thing.
something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. Would you do that?
So no, I just read now competition. So I'm done with competitions. There comes a time in your career where you step away.
Is it the
from
competition?
competitions. Yeah, over here.
Million Rand prize.
Entertainers against each other in a competition to make each other laugh. So
Entertainers.
if it's like a kind of a, you know, I don't want to do. We've given up competitions long ago, and I'll say I'll tell you an interesting fact. I have never lost any. I've won every single competition I entered. Thank you.
False.
Which one?
Our first year, what was it? Was it still? It was still the Grasa.
Yes, Grasa.
Grasa. But
Okay.
we were.
Yeah, my heart wasn't in that one.
Yeah, we were. I mean, but that was our first year
Was
of
that in
comedy.
Zulu? At Zulu?
Yeah, Zulu Boss.
Yeah.
So that was our first year that we started
First
out in
year in
comedy. So
comedy.
that Grasa comedy competition, that first leg that I took part in, that was my third gig that I ever played. And I mean, and that was the first competition we were even, and we still made it. We made it to the finals.
Yeah, that was tough.
And I mean, who won that year? That
didn't Milo win? Was it Milo?
Mumsy
won.
Mumsy. But I mean, by that time, Mumsy had put in years already.
Yeah.
Mumsy had years on us.
He was
by
a
that time.
headliner already. We were open mics.
So, and Mumsy wasn't even supposed to be a part of that competition. He was like a late entry, and then he ended up winning it and got on at
But check it, go. I'm just reading this thing now. This is like one-on-one to make each other laugh.
No, but
Isn't
then it's
this your?
then it's kind of like the roast battle.
But then, so I'm saying this is your
And I
game, like.
So I just saw $1 million. Yeah, I'll do it. But I mean, in terms of, they come like with competitions, comedy competitions, there's not many anymore.
Yeah.
But there's a time in your career you step away. And then when they start inviting you to be a judge on the panel, it's time for you to stop competing. You know, you're a judge now.
True. It's true. So they're actually valuing your opinion on what is funny. So like Carl was saying, his end game was to be like synonymous with the big names in South Africa. For me, when I started out in comedy, my end goal was just to be considered funny by funny people.
Yeah.
That was it. Like I just wanted to hang out with I wanted to make friends that were comedians. Some of them will go on to be famous. Some of them will fall by the wayside. But all I wanted to do was be able to sit in these people's company and they would think I'm funny.
Yeah.
That was it. That's all I wanted.
I think that same thing's from podcasting. I just want to sit in these people's conversation and enjoy the conversation. And I've had an awesome conversation with you tonight. You've taken us through your journey quite awesome, and yeah, and I hope you start a podcast for real.
Nah, for real, I think you're
welcome to come back here. You're welcome to chat to us after.
I just don't know I don't know what role I'd like to play. If it's a Portuguese role or...
You see? Boom.
And with that, Liam, you got anything else to say in closing?
Nah, I'm just looking forward to our next show. Carl, I really think for you to do a podcast, I think it's really up your alley. I think it's an avenue that you should definitely explore. I look forward to seeing what you're going to be doing, going solo, going forward. I know it's been a tough couple of years. There's been a lot of heartache and setbacks, but you know what they say, tragedy plus time. Take that fuel.
True. Guys, thank you so much. I had so much fun. Look at the time. Thanks so much.
Is that how you in the comedy show? Look at the time.
Look at the time.
Okay, guys. That's it for tonight, man. Tune in next week, Thursday. We're gonna be here 9 o'clock again with the Content Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeehaw. Peace. We out.
Hey.
Like, share, subscribe. You know that.